We can't compare these two watches, right? They're completely or almost different. Well, that's the whole point of this video. Both of these watches are amazing in most of the cases. So let's talk about which watch you should pick from Huawei Watch GT2 or TicWatch Pro 2020. Intro. If you followed my channel, I did several videos on both of these watches, and many people have complained that I give contradictory opinions. Well, first of all, I should apologize if I confuse anyone, but I think that can happen when we deal with electronics or even people. You think they are really good during the first few months, and then you start to hate the negative side of them despite their good side. Rings a bell? So let me try to compare these two watches. Hopefully those contradictions will be resolved. So this is going to be a long video, I hope. Both of these watches have their pros and cons. They are well designed and packed with features and also some issues. But in this video, I'm not going to talk about the specifications of these watches because I already have covered those in my previous videos. You can check them here, or I will put the links in the description below so you can check them out later or after this video. Let's start with the design. These watches targets two different audiences, or at least that's how I feel it. The TicWatch Pro looks more rigid and bulky, while the GT2 looks more elegant and classy. The TicWatch Pro in fact weighs more, 17.5 grams more to be exact, without the straps. You might think it's not much, but you'll definitely feel the difference when you try both of them. Yeah, it's definitely heavier. Because of this bulky design of TicWatch Pro, it can get uncomfortable to wear it for a longer period of time, especially if you want to use it for sleep tracking. I tried it for several days and I stopped wearing it for sleep since it started hurting my wrist, and the straps, they suck. Also, the leather strap you get along with the watch is bad. It looks good, but it hurts, so I had to get rid of it. You can of course strap these straps in both of these smartwatches because they have 22mm quick release straps, but then you still have to pay for these like extra amount for them. But Watch GT2 is comparatively comfortable to wear. It's more lightweight and less bulky, so I could easily wear it for sleep tracking, and the straps are much lighter and feels really good as well compared to the TicWatch Pro. Since it looks less bulky, it looks good on small wrists like mine. And smartwatch manufacturers put these weird markings on the face of the smartwatches. I still don't understand why do they put these weird markings of like our markings on a digital watch like a smartwatch. If you know why, let me know in the comment section below. But for the design section, I will definitely pick the Huawei Watch GT2. Next, the display. Both of them have an OLED screen and the colors are super punchy. You anyway won't watch any videos on these watches, right? So I don't think it's a huge problem that the Huawei Watch GT2 has a less PPI. One specialty of the TicWatch Pro, and I think is the most attractive feature, is the secondary FSTN display. Well, you can argue for either side. While it acts as an always-on display and saves a lot of battery compared to the other Wear OS smartwatches, it looks a bit dull and non-smartwatchy. It looks like big old Casio watch in the first glance. While it supports simplicity, it might not be super elegant as the always-on display on the Huawei Watch GT2. You still can use the OLED screen as the always-on display, but that will drastically drain your battery. But still, it's not as good as the Watch GT2's always-on display. On the Watch GT2, you have several options for the always-on display, and it looks way better than the TicWatch Pro. So it does look more futuristic smartwatch, but it will cut your battery life in half. As you can see, it finally comes down to the preference. If you like more of a retro look, go for the TicWatch Pro. It will be a better choice. If you like more modern looks, GT2 will be a better option for you. Personally, I like the always-on display on the Watch GT2 because the FSTN screen, it doesn't look nice. So for the design, I will mark this as a tie between these two smartwatches because it at the end winds down to the preference. Let's talk about the biggest difference between these two smartwatches, the operating system. As you might already know, TicWatch Pro runs on Google Wear OS. You can call it the watch version of Android. Watch GT2 on the other hand runs on a custom lightweight OS called Light OS. In Wear OS, you have the freedom to download many third-party apps as you like. You have the watch faces to sleep tracking to games to Spotify to Messenger to whatnot. A lot of apps. Light OS is more closed OS where you cannot really install any third-party applications or even watch faces. You have to stick with whatever Huawei gives you. Because of Wear OS is feature-rich, you may get features such as replying to messages, Google Map integration, Google Assistant, Google Pay, Google Translate, and many other Google services. And also, you can have custom watch faces, games, an entire Play Store you can scan through and install any of the stuff. But definitely do not install all the apps in the Play Store on the watch because it will slow things down. Light OS, on the other hand, is much simple. You can't reply to messages, no Google applications or any third-party applications in that sense. They still have some essential apps like sleep tracking, breathing exercises, workout options, which we'll talk in a while, and several more. But there is nowhere near the amount of TicWatch Pro. For a normal person, that should be fine because all these apps you'll install on Wear OS devices, you'll eventually end up not using them. In that way, I like the approach of Watch GT2, but you still don't have options like NFC for payment in Watch GT2. And there are a lot of issues in syncing the activities into Google Fit. The activities do get synced to the Huawei Health app, but they don't get a sync into the Google Fit applications. Even when you press the sync button manually, no data is synced to Google Fit. So if you are a heavy user of Google Fit, this might be an issue. So maybe it's because of the issue they have, Huawei versus US, probably that. Regardless of how much I like the minimalism of GT2, I don't like this syncing issues. So I will definitely pick the TicWatch Pro in this category. Activity tracking. Huawei Watch GT2 would have lost in this category big time a couple of months back. But they have added a lot. I mean a lot of new types of activities. Both can track your steps, yes. They can track your heart rate and sleep. But GT2 recently got a firmware update to measure SpO2. It simply means it can track the oxygen levels in your bloodstream. It's not there in the TicWatch Pro yet, and I don't know if it will ever support. I was previously complaining that Watch GT2 didn't have badminton, and the only sport that I do, but now they added it. Now there are tons of different activities, probably even close to Wear OS. 85 on Watch GT2 and 96 on TicWatch Pro. Many people find the tracking more accurate on GT2 than TicWatch Pro because the Watch GT2 is made as more of a smart activity tracker than a smartwatch, where the TicWatch Pro is kind of the opposite. It's more of a smartwatch. I want to make the GT2 winner, but I will be more fair and mark this as a tie. But if you feel otherwise, let me know in the comment section below and we can discuss. Next, the battery life. Hands down, Huawei Watch GT2 is the winner here. Why, you may ask, despite the 30-day battery TicWatch Pro claims? Well, that's only for the essential mode, meaning it will only have the FSTN screen with the date, time, that's the step counter. I think it also measures your heart rate in the background. But if you use it as a smartwatch, then it will last for 2 days or maximum 3 days. I think it's an issue with any type of Wear OS devices. Yeah. In a single charge, GT2 claims to last 14 days, but 12 to 10 days in my experience. But if you enable always on display, the battery life will cut in half. But you will still get 5 to 7 days of battery, which is still more than what TicWatch Pro can offer. So, the winner of this category is, hands down, Watch GT2. Last, but not the least, is the price. You can get a Huawei Watch GT2 for around 108 euros. And if you choose the new model, the GT2e, it's around 150 euros. I will not talk about the differences between these two watches, but just think as the GT2e is the low spec version of the GT2. On the other hand, TicWatch Pro 2020 is around 260 euros at the moment, which is 80 euros more than GT2. So let's see, paying an extra for the TicWatch Pro is worth it. As you can see, the deciding factor is the operating system and its limitations. If you have a Huawei phone already, this will be evident for you and probably less of an issue as well. But if you don't mind not being able to install third-party applications or even watch faces and the compatibility with Google applications, I think Huawei Watch GT2 will be a better option for you. If those things are super important for you, and also you have a proper Android phone, maybe TicWatch Pro is a better option despite the price. But also you definitely have to think about the battery life, how it looks. So just try to weigh these options and decide what you want. For me, I think still the GT2 is a better option. So what do you think? Do you think I did a fair comparison, or did I miss anything else, or did I completely screw everything up? Let me know in the comment section below, and so I can improve. If you like this kind of content, hit that big red subscribe button and the bell notification, and you know the drill. On a serious note, it's still not over, so don't go out unless it's super important. Otherwise, a second wave will be inevitable, just like Thanos. Stay home, stay safe, and I will talk to you in the next one. Out.